brothers and sisters, generals, family, younger or older, current subscriber, new subscriber, anybody that view, I salute you and I thank you. And as I haven't said, I say sometimes, but I haven't said in a while, if you get anything out of what I say or do, or what my son, Lord Lamont, or what we say or do on father and son discussions, via music, anything I do positive, anything you get from what I say on this channel or do on this channel, take that energy and pass it on to someone else, because that's what's most important. And welcome to another edition of EBX Discussion. And I want to give a little thought intro before I get into the topic. I just want to give a little thought intro. Introspection is a main tool and a very important part of our meditation and our deep prayer. Because I know some people pray, some people say meditation. So I always consider both, which ties into my title, what I'm saying now and what I'm getting ready to say. Now I want to go back, a little introspection. Let's go, brothers and sisters. And anyone that has a new craft or a passion they have, and this is whatever, but I want to kind of I'll speak on music and speaking, because I haven't always spoken, and I've been inspired by others, whether in my family or brothers and sisters in the world or online, and it's wonderful to give those credit that lit that spark in us, that have us blazing in this present, so we can have a righteous, blazing future. But I'm going to use speaking as an example. I remember when I don't want to say when I first began being a content creator. I will have to say, because when I first began, YouTube was just YouTube. I'm talking about years, I don't know how many years back, when YouTube wasn't that popular, I didn't really take it serious then. I just did. I've always been positive, but we're talking about when we get to that stage, when we get deep into our passion and we really like it and we start committing to it, things begin to get real. Certain things shake off and your integrity kicks in. So I'm saying all that to say, when I first began speaking and coming into different, because, you re-educate yourself, you become revolutionized, if that sounds right. You become somewhat of a revolutionary within yourself, and then it leaks out onto the world. You come into this truth, things that make you real, especially when you are beginning to influence others and you start taking things more serious, but it comes in steps and it doesn't happen overnight. So when I first began speaking and content creating and really loving it and taking it serious, that's when the two ears kicked in, and that's why I came up with this title. We have two ears for a reason. So, and I had to, cause, everyone's different, and I always say, everyone's different. No one's better, just different. Some of us may align with each other and be almost parallel, but no one human being, male or female, brother or sister, nobody's the same. Everybody has a little something different to bring to this here humanity and or culture, whatever gift. I always like to say the great divine has 1 trillion billion gifts and tools out there, small or big, but that force and mother nature leaves it up to the individual how we think in the pit of our soul, because that's what would develop a great speaker or a good musician or hip hop or a judge or a doctor or a great teacher. And I'm talking about whether you're in school and you really care about your students, that makes a big difference. But when we are self-aware as brother or sister, young or older, general, salute. When we are aware, we know challenges will come. So let's go back to when I was talking about when I first began content creating. I would have to say when I start taking it serious, because the journey really doesn't begin until we take things serious and we really are learning. And we know disappointments will come, and we know sometimes rejection will come, and things happen, but we use them when we are willing to learn things. And this brother or sister, anybody, small space, big space, when we're finally in that space after we went through the layers, and we know what it is to learn and grow, and we know oneself, because it isn't easy in this human body. I always consider that. So that's what helped develop me, oneself, talking about me as a speaker. I can't really speak for no one else, but me as EBX, as me, I had to take things serious, especially with oneself, and consider other perspectives and stuff like that. Because I did kind of get into a mode where I was like, you must do this and stop doing that. I was kind of in that mode, and I had to take myself out of that. Because that's tapping into trying to force people what one believes or know. And that's something I learned along the way about that word belief. I used to say that word willy-nilly all day long, but as I heard from a great brother, a great teacher, we have to look deeper into things. I've heard this from many great teachers, actually, brothers and sisters, and those of us are aware, we say we have different perspectives and we come at that truth different ways, but it's all leading to the same thing, to breathe life and to be able to see things and be ready for what's to come. And it's about being mindful, the paranoia thing of the past. I say that sometimes. So we have 2 ears for a reason. So listen. You will thank yourself. It's the gift that keeps on giving. When you see that silence is more than just, sound good or we trying to sound intelligent. No, when we really do live and see the beauty of silence in oneself, and when you can back up from things and you're able to catch things and you prevent things, you become a brother and sister of prevention and general family members. Salute. Be a warrior of prevention and be bold with it. Be relentless, because all it takes is one good result of us paying attention to ourselves and not jumping off an impulse. As I've said many times, anybody that ride along on this channel, notice I said ride along. You're not a follower. It's a leader in all of us, brothers and sisters, melanated, salute, younger or older, And as I've said on this channel, you want to know how wrongfully impactful impulses can be. Just look out onto the world, the media, social media, where toxic impulses are out of control. So that's the way we hear with these 2 ears, is we maintain our composure in times and in our impulses. Again, as I said before, and I'll say again, a lot of divine things we come into, or situations whether we're dealing with person, place, or thing. Now we know how that divine force moves. Sometimes we won't understand things, but we have developed that confidence, right? Not just human confidence. We talk about divine confidence. Once we're locked into that, we know why great divine has us in situations or things happen to us out of the blue. If we're aware of oneself, we'll know why, and we'll know later on. And I like to say this, and I bring it up every now and then, but I think it really helps in life about not reacting, depending on what it is, and as I heard a great brother say, we don't react, we act. And that's another teacher now. I'm telling you, I love learning stuff. What we learn from a teacher, what I always say, folks, it sticks with us forever. A real genuine teacher that has been through the struggle and knows, and that's brother or sister, it sticks with us forever. It's up to us to soak it in and incorporate it into our life. Brother or sister, general, family member. And I'm telling you, learn from what we see in media, social media, things we have learned from different celebs of fame. It's the same story, different face. It could be male or female with this celeb stuff. I have my certain celebs I like and movies I've seen and music, but I'm like so celebed out because it's literally the same story. I mean, not trying to beat up on them, but hey, the truth is the truth. Like Eddie Griffin said, I want to take his stuff. Eddie Griffin, salute. Truth is like rain. Don't give a fuck who it fall on. So a lot of us that are truth sayers out here, and some exposing and all that stuff, it's not our fault. If you're not doing right, and you're doing toxic shit and you're in the public eye, you better have your shit together. I mean, we ain't doing it. You expose yourself. We in them times. So you better have your shit together if you want to be in the limelight and fame and spotlight. You want to be seen and you love the glory of people praising you and all that. You better be humble about it. You better learn the art of humiliation, because if the world don't humiliate you, that great divine will put you in a space where it make you humble down, because nobody is higher than that divine force or Mother Nature. And I don't give a damn who we are, where we at, what we have. F with that great divine and think you're gonna get away with see what happens. Oh yeah. And that great divine is the most clever being, deity we will ever come across. So we can never outmaneuver Mother Nature or that divine force. Go on and mess with it. and see what happens. We've heard that saying, you play with fire, your ass gonna get burnt. Real talk. And the great divine is just smiling at those that think they hold power. Now, we can have power, but it better be somewhat righteous. And I don't have to go too deep into it. What happens when we lose ourselves in toxicity or negativity, and we don't care, and we stay in it, and we ignore all flags? Do I have to go any further? So that's what developed a righteous brother or sister. And I'm not just talking about speaking on no platform. I'm talking about in general, ready for anything. Like this brother on my banner here. I wanted to give him a name. I wanted to call him King Rejection, and ready for whatever, and rejecting all things that's false or toxic that don't help you or I or our communities, brothers and sisters, our children, even with our little quirks and challenges we have within ourselves. Because I always got to, humble myself back down. I don't ever want to come off like I'm this perfect brother and I do everything right. No, that's what keep us doing everything right. When we are somewhat humble about oneself, and we ain't talking about a soft humble. And this is not a humble where we let person, place, or thing walk all over us. It's that connects to integrity. Integrity can take you a long way, brother or sister, and be unapologetic. And we do things for that divine force and Mother Nature and humanity and our culture, and just keep forging forward and stand still, like this brother on my banner here. King Rejection. It's not going to be thou shalt not be moved. This brother on my banner here is a perfect representation of thou shalt not be moved. And then, I'm going to bring it up what Mike Epps said. I just like it. It just sticks with me. I don't care what I go through as a black man. If I transition and come back, I would still want to be black. But I want to read a summary. I like summaries, and again, I know there's others, brothers and sisters, that read and stuff, but reading is good. Let's connect together and know that we are just different. No one's better. And when we connect together, do you know the power we will send out to that universe? And guess what'll come back? It'll come right on back. Because, what we put out, you go ahead and finish it, So me, and many others, I want great things to come back to us. Anybody who listening to me, current subscriber, new subscriber, be that leader that's in you, and we can teach others to be leaders, especially our children, because nothing is more wonderful than sitting on that throne as a parent, as a brother and sister, and watching our kids claim their throne, against the evil entities of the world, because they fallen. A lot of evil entities out here that have been doing shit that throughout decades and the years, their time has come. And a lot of us have made predictions on this. I got a video or a podcast in the beginning stages of my content creating where I spoke on that those who are evil, time is up. It's damn near over. I mean, it's so many righteous brothers and sisters out here, whether they in the beginning, in the middle, or they at the top. And I'm talking about not fame top. I'm talking about at the top of their awareness, where they're not letting nothing waver them. If you can get to a state when you can deal with your emotions and nothing waver you, man, keep going. Don't get lost in our own hype. Stay with it. A little humble here and there, because humiliation builds us and make us strong. It's all how we perceive and look at it, and how we are deep within, brother or sister, family, general. So let's get into another meditative moment, and we're gonna talk about the beauty of silence when we take it serious. And it's more than just the power of silence. I know we hear it all the time, but when we incorporate it in our lives, it helps us to see things, because it helps us to see things in ourselves and others. Because as I was going to say a few minutes ago, that I heard from a great brother that we don't react, we act. And the reason we do this, because sometimes we can save individuals from themselves when we don't react to what they're doing. Because it goes back to, I used to say all the time, I haven't said it in a while too, that all melanated brothers and sisters have been under what? A conditioning. And I learned that from Malcolm X. Salute. May he rest in peace and in power. So that's where the two ears come into play. And that's what I meant when I first started out speaking. I started to learn behaviors. First, I had to learn oneself, of course, because we learn ourselves. And then, we get ourselves right. And then our children, family, work our way out. That's one of my things, righteous ripple effect. You hear me say that a lot. So when I start understanding that many of us melanated brothers and sisters, if not all, you know, have have been under some kind of conditioning, just different ways in different families and different walks of, different parts of the world, when I began to pay attention to different behaviors, that's when the two antennas stood up, so to speak. That's when I started using the two ears and not speaking so much. And when I say listen, I'm talking about that divine spirit within, because I got that in the title. We got two ears for a reason, so listen. I mean, we listen to things on the outside too, but mostly within, because that's where the battles begin, deep in the psyche, So, and I want to get to this summary, but I want to speak on rejection a little bit. Now, I've been rejected in things before, and rejection can make you or break you. But again, it goes back to how strong we are and our willpower. And we use it as a learning tool, as a learning thing. We say what made us get rejected. Sometimes it might be us or it not be us. But, we figure it out, get to the base of it, and go through the stages we need to go through, because some rejection can come out of breakups, or it could be a friendship, or it could be a marriage, and we get to the core of it and fix it the best way we can. If we can't do it with ourselves, what do we always say? Connect to someone or something that cares. I would say someone that cares about us deeply, and that can help us get to the core and help. Because sometimes you could use a righteous brother and sister that got a smart brain that's intelligent, might hit on something that we wasn't thinking about, because emotions, we gonna get them, but it's about controlling them and dealing with them and see why you're getting them and where they come from. Fix it and get back on board. So we can pass that good energy on to others if we have children or a significant other, so rejection can be something else, so that's where silence come in. As I said on the video, when I was in nature, that's when that great divine, that real God, will speak to us, and help us to evolve and shape us into the greatest generals that we are and can be. It's a general in all of us. Just got to pull that general out. So, but especially females, they go through the crying. It's okay. Go through the crying stage, go through the sad phases, all the stages you go through out of rejection. Go through all of it, embrace it, but just teach yourself not to stay there, because you're going to go through human emotions. That's natural. Great divine knows that, but it also knows the righteous potential in us. So go through whatever stages, because that's why I say, when I talked about when I began speaking and stuff, my insight on behaviors change. I became more empathic, understand, because I too had to go through a healing process. A lot of us have been through it one way or another, whether it was an easy process or a hard, short, long. Everybody has been through some kind of healing process in our lives. Most of the time when we're younger, then we'll be right when we're converting over into our adulthood. Some we change and evolve, and some stay in it for a while, but don't wait too late. That's all I can say. Be the best brother and sister general we can possibly be, so we can enjoy, especially the later years, or the latter years, or the golden years, whatever you want to call it, so we can enjoy that part of our life. Please don't bring old hang up and old stresses, and please, I'm begging you, don't drag. I'm talking to my young brothers and sisters. Whatever we got to do between 18 and 15, please do what we have to do. 18 and 50, excuse me. 18 and 50, that's my little statistic. Do what we have to do in that time. Don't drag old stresses, old financial problems and eating habits and just different things that hinder us into our adulthood. Please deal with it. I'm begging you. Usually I'll be like tough love and you got to do this, but I'm telling you, and it's only for your own good. You cannot listen to us that try to show us a better way of eating and all this stuff. It's always going to be up to the individual, So I had those that helped me, as well as my family, get me to the space one is in. So I'm passing that torch on to others, whether adults or young, So I want to get into this summary, another meditative moment about the beauty of silence when we take it serious, real talk. Okay, it gives you a space to meet ourselves, even in the silence, when face to face with our own scary thoughts. We can begin to see ourselves, hear our thoughts, because when And when you're away from the noise, and not just the world too, but that noise that's in ourselves, when we just letting our thoughts just run all over the place and letting our imaginations just take over our lives. No, we stand still like King Rejection on my banner here. See that sword in his hand? We keep that sword sharp. We've conquered so much. Stop it. Now this is where kind of a little bit of the tough love comes in. We gotta, okay, we go through the stages, however that is, sad, cry, whatever we gotta do, but don't let it hinder us. Think about the future, because it's going to come. And that's something every human being on this planet can agree on, that the future is going to come. I say that from time to time. Stand still, like Brother Rejection on my banner here, and taking no mess and ready and standing with the truth, All right, another summary. Silence in spirituality is often a metaphor for inner stillness. As I said a few minutes ago, peace, be still. Say that to yourself sometimes. Peace, be still. I say that in challenging times. Like when I'm at work and I get negative thoughts to try to enter out. Peace, be still. I do that from time to time. But we have to be in a space to remember these things, because again, when we're lost in the hustle and bustle of the world, life, our own emotions, we tend to forget to practice things. So that's why they say practice makes perfect, or perfect intentions. We have to practice mindfulness, meditation, breathing exercises, because that helps relax the body. And I do that. I've gotten better at doing that. But we stay at it. We stay on it. So we don't forget it. It'll be like seventh nature. Okay, I'm going to start over. Silence in spirituality is often a metaphor for inner stillness. Very important. A silent mind freed from the onslaught of thoughts and thought patterns is both a goal and important to step in spiritual, healthy development. That's why you hear. So when you hear, I'm talking about a real teacher, brother or sister, when you hear someone speaking on the power of silence, I'm talking about someone that's really a high level expert in that area. You listen to somebody. I'm not talking about me. I've gotten better, but I won't say I'm all the way there, but I've gotten better. I'm pretty good at, ignoring toxic things and things that are insignificant, because it's not going to help you. And you feel it in your spirit. You learn energy as you get along, and you pay attention, and you play it, and you focus, you analyze person, place, thing, ourselves. When we really, really buckle down and get serious and really, really pay attention to people's behaviors and why they do the things they do, whether we at work or we in the world, we out driving, because that's another thing I noticed. Driving says a lot about people. And I've said on a podcast yesterday, I think, or no, a couple days ago, the movies people watch, the music they listen to says a lot about them. And, the way people drive, and and you do this in your car. That's the time when we can connect with that divine force too. And just pay attention when you're driving, just pay attention to those around you. And you can tell those who are probably, I'm saying just a theory or an opinion. Most people I see driving all, quick and fast and trying to hurry up and maneuver, I bet in their lives it's probably chaotic. Real talk. But people you see driving smooth and taking their time, they're not, concerned with where they got it. They know they're going to get where they got to go. Just like in life, when you just enjoy the journey and you really do mean well to the pit of that soul, and you really are trying to be truthful. It's something that again, that's what I had to learn at the beginning of my walk when I started. And, you don't have to push anymore. You just flow freely with life. Let that divine just take you and let it flow freely. And not willy-nilly where we let anything and everything enter our psyche. We become stronger. We do things to empower ourselves. That's why I would say set that tone every morning, so our mind, body, and soul can be ready when we leave out that door. I like rhyming. But yeah, it helps. But we have to do things to practice. Like, I've been on this healing thing probably the last few days because I've been seeing it in the media. And I think we are going through a time of healing, that true colors are coming out of people. And in myself too. I see it in myself. I always said I don't need nothing to punish me. I punish my own self. Great divine, I don't know. Great divine don't play with me. That's why I say we know when we have a purpose in this life. And it's not always in the limelight either. I'm talking about just a purpose in general. Because that great divine will antagonize you, it will antagonize your spirit. It will put things in front of you. It will some I would like to say, that voice within that tell us you better listen to that voice. We learn to listen to that voice though when we pay attention to oneself, when we study and read up on human nature and the universe, and the importance of healthy spirituality, and and listening to different perspectives, and not a soft humble, but a stable humble, especially humble with oneself, but we, again, we don't just walk through life willy-nilly and be like the Walking Dead. No, we stand firm. We calm and composed, but we're not dummies and we ain't stupid. We know we're going to have emotions, but we're not going to jump off toxic. We're not going to have any stress, no stress, little stress, no stress at all. Not even in our vocabulary. When we know who we are, finally, after we went through the layers, we can breathe. And don't forget those breathing exercises. You get into a moment where you feel, it's never good when we're in a moment and we feel that blood rising. No, don't ever. Whenever we feel welling up, unless it's something trying to harm us physically, because as many of us say, brother or sister, every righteous brother or sister have a right to defend themselves. So if some come at us physically, we don't want to be violent or anything, but we're on a mission here, to lift those, to help our children grow, to help keep ourselves maintained, do things to keep ourselves sane. Because us as teachers, as I say, those who do teach, brother or sister, they like to be encouraged too. Just keeps them fired up, keep them blazing, makes them want to do more and even better, because there's always and forever room for improvement. I'm stuttering. Room for improvement and always leveling up, because the levels never run out. I don't know what that was. Somebody trying to get at me. Yeah, that's my uncle. My uncle just sent me a message. He always sending me stuff on Messenger. I appreciate that, And a matter of fact, I'm gonna put in the end screen a podcast I did called Healing, Inspire, and Then Lead. And I did a part 2, and I think in the part 2 I put a clip in there. My uncle sent me about black inventors. How I talked about how all this computer and digital and all this AI stuff stems from melanated brothers and sisters. But that was him. That's that ding you heard. That was my uncle. Salute to my uncle and my family, my mom and my aunt Vera and my grandparents. Anybody in my family that transitioned, may they rest in peace and in power, because I'm a product of their righteous actions that they put forth and they invested in their family, whether it was financial or just giving their love and life. So I thank my aunt Vera, my grandparents, my dad, anyone else in my family that transitioned, my cousin. I bring him up every now and then. My cousin L'Oreal Lyrical, that transition, left this planet too soon. As I said, she was so intelligent and knew so much about these computers and this. She was so intelligent. She knew Spanish. She could rap in Spanish. She was just a light. She was a force to be reckoned with. But may she rest in peace and in power, as well as others in one's family. So gotta be thankful of those that got us to the stable place we are in. And don't forget, folks, we got 2 ears for a reason. So listen, listen to those divine things within. Listen to that. When I say listen, I mean to ourselves. We gotta direct that traffic that's within us. Don't let, again, we deflect the noise on the outside. That's not good for us, because there's a lot of things out here that's coming at us at all angles that can throw us off, tap into our emotions, have us trauma bonding, and not get into the core of the real issues of this world, stuff like that. But it's a lot of us that are getting to the real issues. But as I said, Eddie Griffin said, I said a minute ago, salute. Thanks, man. Eddie Griffin be dropping, drop jewels. There's many other brothers like him and sisters, Truth is like rain. Don't give a fuck who it fall on. So I would rather cling to the truth. I don't care how challenging it is, because it's less drama, and you begin to become a brother and sister of prevention. As I said, become a brother or sister, a human being, a general, family. Become one who is of prevention, because you can breathe. It's just, man, we can flow through life, and we teach others, and because we're connected to people. We got to create generals in our children, ourselves, significant other, if you have one, and family, because, man, we got 2 ears for a reason. So listen, my great generals. Salute.